Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. Tonight, we will be delving into the world of pink houses and dark secrets at the infamous Gypsy Rose Blanchard house in Springfield, Missouri. As many of you may already know, this home was generously gifted and built by Habitat for Humanity for Jip Jip and her mother, Claudine Dee Blanchard. But my question is, was Gypsy Rose Blanchard already the queen of her and Dee Dee's pink castle even before its construction even started? Let's explore the pink castle and the process of obtaining a Habitat for Humanity house. We're also going to discover who ended up inheriting the house after the crime was committed. Oh, and did I mention that Gypsy Rose actually tried to volunteer for Habitat as content for her reality show? How classy, right? So many questions, so many rabbit holes to explore with so little time to do it. So let's stop wasting it and get into it on this episode of Parawomen Radio. I'm going to roll some credits while we wait for the rest of the GRB crew to roll in. Shout out to my Power Replay crew and my Dragonflies. It's Friday, babies. Guys, welcome to Parawomen Radio. I'm Amy.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine. Carefully strumming this old guitar again, words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Here in the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day.
Here in the essence of gratitude, I get another Friday night with my power crew. Man, I love you guys, and I love spending Friday nights with you. But of course, I'm having equipment issues. Tonight it's my mic thing. I can't tighten it tight enough, so it wants to fall over. And I think you guys had a hard time hearing me on Wednesday. But anyway, Hopefully you can hear me. And yeah, so hi everyone. Hi main chit Carrie. Hi podcaster queen. Hi Deborah Sanduskus. I'm sorry, you guys, I butcher names. I, I do my best. So hi Chrissy, and who else did I see? Tara Normal. Hey girl. Hi Lotus Spider 7. And who else do I spy? I see Laura Lynn and Sally Doe and Pauline Serini and Conspiracy Realist. Um, and if I missed you, I'm sorry. I went up pretty far, scrolled up pretty far. Okay, guys. So I am really excited to talk about tonight. There's been talk about the house in the past, and I love talking about a good schmurder house. I really do. Gypsy Rose tried to put out this article that we're going to read where she tries to tell us to zip it about the house. But Gypsy Rose, we're not zipping it about anything. Everything's on the table for you. So, we're going to talk about the little pink house. And I don't know about you, but I have been researching this pink house all day long. And I have the John Cougar Mellencamp song, Little Pink Houses for You and Me, except I was singing Little Pink Houses for not you and me, but for Gypsy Rose, except I can't sing. So, just imagine that I sang that to you in a great voice. I swear. I wish I could sing or I had some kind of musical whatever. The only good thing that I have gotten is the ear for good like music. I know what I like and I usually can pick what's going to be popular. But that's it. That's the only thing I got. No more, no less. I've said this before. I felt like I stood in line, when things were being handed out, and I was because all my friends have it. So I was just kind of hanging out in line, not in the line, just hanging out, talking to my friends. And then, I get up there and they're like, well, you can have good taste in music. And I was like, I'll take it. Take it. If that's all you got left, I'll take it. So I have heard a lot of you say that you like the music that I play, and I play mostly music from an artist by the name of Serena Matthews. And I put the link to her in all of our descriptions. It's part of there. So if you want to ever she's on Spotify, you can put her on, she's in various lists. You can also buy her stuff, which would be really helpful for her because she's an artist. I mean, and she's lives in Tennessee, and she's just a really good human being. And I've known her for about 15 years. I used to play her music back when Parawomenradio was just a strictly podcast. So yeah, that's who I play, Serena Matthews. Okay, so let's get into this while I'm getting my screen together. If we could do that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just warm up your fingers and start dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more fun people back to our party. It's just a free way to help me out, and it's really, really appreciated. And a warm welcome to all of our new subscribers. Hello, we've gotten quite a few lately over on YouTube. Today we're coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hi, guys. And I do see, thank you so much, Laura Lynn, for being a supporter of the channel. And hello, beautiful Laura Lynn back. And main chit Carrie. Thank you, sweet girl. Thank you for all of the support. I try to keep my phone in my lap too, because I have not figured out how to get alerts when people Cashapp me and PayPal. And I don't know if I said thank you to Brooke and the last one, but Brooke Cashapp does. And I want to say a big thank you to Brooke too. Okay, so here we go. Let me get back to the screen. All right. Do you guys remember the little pink house? I mean, how could you forget it, right? I thought I would take us back into the house, though. This is when they had moved in. Gypsy's like what, 16, 17, 18 here, 20, 50. I don't know. She's older than she should be. And so let's take a look at it.
Very much. The story behind a couple arrested in Big Bend, this week after authorities say they murdered a woman in Missouri. The story is growing increasingly bizarre.
It turns out Gypsy Blanchard and her mother were in the news before.
And asked him to stab her mother to death so that they could be together.
As the charges against her are detailed, you can hear her sobs.
Stole money from her deceased mother's safe and fled the state of Missouri.
And when she does speak in Waukesha County Court, she sounds like a child.
2103 West Volunteer Way.
But Gypsy Blanchard is an adult. Although authorities aren't sure exactly how old she is, it's likely somewhere between 19 and 23.
I remember my mom had gave me this little glass house, and she said, one day this will be real. And now it finally is.
That's Gypsy 7 years ago, clutching her mother Dee's hand, the woman she's now accused of asking her boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, to stab to death.
It's so easy to live here, and it's so peaceful.
The two were interviewed after Habitat for Humanity built them a handicapped accessible home because of Gypsy's disabilities. They said she was confined to a wheelchair.
We have an awesome bathtub. It's a jacuzzi tub meant for my muscles. And we have a wonderful ramp.
And I want to start off with saying things are not always as they appear.
Authorities say the two were lying. You can see Gypsy for yourself walking into court. Now, along with the investigation into Dee's murder, authorities are also looking into what appears to be a financial scheme.
This is a tragic event surrounded by mystery and public deception.
Alleging Gypsy and her mother lied about Gypsy's health to get money and attention.
It just proves that happy endings are not just in fairy tales. They're real and true in real life also.
According to court documents,
It actually proves that for Gypsy, the fairy tale keeps going, doesn't she? At what point is Gypsy Rose going to be stopped? That's my question. This is the whole reason I do this, is because I just truly don't believe this woman should even be out of prison, let alone, like I heard today, she was making spaghetti for Ken on TikTok and probably making thousands of dollars doing it. Like, mind blowing. So, who is it that said, Ozark? So you live very close to the pink house. Did you live close to the pink house during this, while this was going on? And did you ever see Gypsy Rose? Sorry, that's a lot of questions right there. This all started, this whole thing about the house. Well, I did a live on the house when she came out with the whole, she was going to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity as content for her show, but I can't find it. I don't know where I did it. And it was really hard to find anything out there because you know how she loves to throw stuff up onto her socials and then she quickly deletes it. Like TikTok's is about the only place that she doesn't delete a whole, well, I think she might do it over on TikTok too. I don't know. But she likes to do it. She likes to do it. Let's keep on. Let's keep going.
What have we here?
The whole reason this all became even like, it became re-interesting to me. It always was interesting to me, and I've always wanted to look more into it, is because they frauded Habitat for Humanity. Gypsy and her mother got free stuff from for, like, she said, a jacuzzi for my sore muscles. What? From sore from like walking around on the carpet in your house, the carpet that you had to have, even though wheelchairs don't glide comfortably on carpet. The whole reason I've gotten into this is because one night I was decompressing from the Gypsy Rose case, and I got some messages saying that there was a woman over on Morbids that said that she had tried to contact me about, she was a volunteer for the Habitat, but I don't, maybe maybe it was somebody else, or I don't know. She didn't email me. But it made me I listened to a little bit what she was saying, and she was saying like how Gypsy had put hands on people, and how Gypsy was just like queen bee, and she was all up in the mix in the planning of the house, and she had to have carpet on the flooring, even though they explained to her that wheelchairs don't roll properly on flooring. And for anybody who really needed a wheelchair, that would have like just been, well, first of all, they probably would have known that, but that would have been all they needed to know. That's all they would have needed to say to me. If I was new in a wheelchair and they said, carpeting, it's a beast, I would have been like, oh, enough said. Enough said. Don't say anymore. I don't want to deal. But not Gypsy. Not Gypsy Rose. So this is a little bit, these are some videos that were taken during the volunteering of the Gypsy Rose, building of the Gypsy Rose house. I did contact, or one of my mods contacted the woman who had said she wanted to join me, to see if she wanted to join me and talk about this, but I haven't heard anything back from her. And so we're going ahead and doing it on our own. We've got some news article. I got a bunch of stuff for tonight. We're gonna watch a little bit of Sir Morbid. We've got some Nina, bunch of news articles, some videos, just a lot of stuff. But this is to kick it off. Oh shoot.
So, what have we here?
All up in the mix. All up in the mix. Ugh. I really feel like towards the end of the scam that Gypsy really leaned into looking like a disabled person, in my opinion. She really leaned into it, because especially that one photo that we saw where Dee looks very old and Gypsy's got this knitted something on her head. Oh, maybe I was thinking maybe it's because like she was losing that cuteness, like that little girl cuteness. And so that's why she was leaning more into the disabled adult look. I don't know.
Been so
It's
nice
disgusting.
to us. It feels like we finally came home.
It is wonderful. It's so beautiful and happy and homey.
Habitat for Humanity gifted Dee this home after theirs were destroyed in a hurricane. It was given rent-free due to Gypsy's illnesses, which turned out to be completely fake.
It is overwhelming.
You can never dream it in your wildest dream that so many people would just so generously come and help us and love us and just welcome us.
For Gypsy Rose and her mother, the move brings a sense of security, a new town, and a new home that has welcomed them with open arms.
It just proves that happy endings are not just in fairy tales, they're real and true in real life also.
They couldn't drag me back to Louisiana kicking and screaming. I'm here to stay. We're home.
Oh, sometimes things get said and you're like, oh boy, that didn't land well. Okay, so let's keep going, shall we? Hold on, I got lost though. So
for Habitat for Humanity reached out to you. Now, saying you're not accepting these messages because I know you stalked my page. I know you'll get this message. Now, look at this. All right, Jib Jib, this lady reached out to you. This is the receipt. She said, hello, I know you get a lot of hate and fake people. Do you remember me? This is Mandy from Mandy's Candy. You and your mama would come in the shop and I would sponsor you a lot of trips. Are you doing any donations for these organizations that you assisted in scamming? You will never know the real hurt you put on me. Jeremy will still get upset at me for the time and money I invested in you. I loved you and Dee Dee so dear. A part of my heart left me. I'm doing good. Sadly, Mom passed in 2018. I didn't have Dee Dee to pray with me, but you could sign up to build a few houses instead of just watch. And you have the money. Have you ever thought of helping out, trying to make a wrong a right? I can't afford these days. I'll do snack baskets like I did for you, but I can't do 500 like I did for you. Please unblock me and discuss helping someone else. Child, the tea is getting hotter and hotter. And what I will say is Gypsy need to do better because nobody should have to tell her to assist these companies. That should have been something she did immediately with the money she received. Because that would have been a respectable thing. You know, you took from kids that didn't have it at your big age at 23 years old. So you could absolutely donate this back to the Habitat for Humanity or small companies like Mandy's Candy. Jib Jib, you need to do better. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm being honest.
Oh, but Nina, and I think a lot of people have forgotten this, but don't you remember when she did try to do that? It was like back in the, when was this? About 4 months ago. And remember when she tried to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity for content for her show, and A&E and Habitat for Humanity was like, no, we have people who volunteer for us who don't want to be filmed. So why would we do that? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm paraphrasing. We're going to look at it in a minute. I'm so sorry. Can I donate something? Well, of course you can, idiot. But, wouldn't it be better maybe to donate in private? That's what she'll say she's done. She'll be like, oh, I donated in private. I thought it should be a thing between me and them. Although that's not what she thought in the beginning. Take a look. Hold on, my browser disconnected. This has been happening a lot for me lately. My browser says it's disconnected and then I've got to reconnect it. So hold on 1 second, please. I always feel like when I say hold please, I always feel like Shanann Watts in her home videos when she'd say, hold please, and she'd go do something and come back. Okay, let me find it again. All right, now I've got to share my screen. I do have a lot of stuff up for tonight. So my browsers, my laptop might be going like, hey, Amy, come on now. You got your cord jimmied in there so that it stays. We're an old machine. Go easy on us. And plus, you're showing them all this gypsy shit. Go easy on me. Just kidding. All right, let me share my screen. Stop talking about it. All right, here we go. Yeah, there's storms around. I know like my two mods, Chris C and Heavenly, the two best mods out there, are having problems. A storm was rolling in just as we went live, and it's happening to you too, Mandolin Bay. Well, hey, a good thing is Mercury retrograde stopped. So, I mean, it stopped on the 28th, and you got to give it like 4 days to completely be gone, but it's almost gone. And can you smell fall on the air? I can smell it. I'm going to do a 13 days of Halloween, and I'm looking for 13 creators that want to do it with me. So if you create content and you are interested in doing a 13 days of Halloween, something with me, I think I'm going to call it What a Wicked Way to Burn or something like that. And yeah, so if you're interested, let me know. You can email me at parawomenradio@gmail.com. All right, so here we have her going into, this is by a creator by the name of Renal Smith. I know she does a lot of anti KJ stuff because they've had a lot of, like, KJ has done a lot of like stuff to Renal Smith and Katie from Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime. I actually donated to it's the only GoFundMe or whatever fund that I've ever donated to help these two with some legal stuff with her. So, but Chris Smith, Chris C, my moderator, has helped me with a lot of my Gypsy Rose content, and she went out of her way today and helped me with a lot of what you're seeing tonight. My other moderator, Heavenly, she helps me a lot with the Watts case. So I'm kind of lucky that I have two mods that are like excellent researchers. But Renal is talking about this whole volunteer mess, and this was 4 months ago.
These links to stay relevant, or is it for the money? This is not it. Now we move on to the text messages that I was referring to. She says, I'm going to be doing a video because I signed up to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. And unfortunately, I received an email from them rejecting my offer to volunteer because they don't want me specifically to volunteer. I wrote them back a response and asked them if I could make a significant donation to their organization. And I have not heard back from them. That should tell you something, Gypsy. I am also making plans to make a donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. But quite honestly, I would like to talk to someone at the New Orleans branch. Bring a picture of me when I was on a Make-A-Wish trip and apologize when I give the check. Was Gypsy expecting these organizations to accept her with open arms? And why should everything be a photo op? If Gypsy was really remorseful, things like this should be done privately, behind the scenes, not be divulged to somebody that she feels is on the fence about her, so she got to portray herself in this positive way. Maybe she should have just sent this large sum of money she wants to donate to these organizations anonymously and call it a day. To me, it seems Gypsy is putting on an act. I'm trying so hard to find and have grace for her, but her actions and her words are total opposites. It's like she still wants the perks of when she was controlled and manipulated by her mum, but now from a stance of being a survivor of her mum, if that makes sense. Now, on to the latest reporting as of a few hours ago from TMZ. Gypsy Rose Blanchard not shooting scenes with Ryan, all about her own journey. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's moving on from Ryan Anderson, and not just in her marriage. She hasn't.
So, and it's so weird because this was wildly reported on. I even reported on it. And when I went to try to find this whole exchange that she put up on her page, which Chris told me it was her Instagram page, I do get she does put up things and then takes it down, and she does it even more over on Instagram than any other place I've noticed. But yeah, it's just so, and I know there were a few more exchanges, or I thought there was, or maybe I just saw it in pieces. I don't know. But she tried this move once before, and yeah, it's just not a good look, Gypsy. Nothing you do really is a good look, but some things are worse than others. In my opinion, this is one of them. So then I started thinking about the house and like what happened to the house? Like, did it go to Gypsy? I had heard that it had been in legal limbo at one point, and then I had heard that Gypsy had inherited it, but because of her crimes, she was forced to sell it. So I thought we could explore all of this. I found a series of news reports, and I thought we could look at the news reports. And yeah, let me just see what you guys are saying in chat really quick. It was sold, and Mandy's Candies bought it. Oh, okay. Mandy's Candies. Like with her ex engagement ring, she tried to say was Ken's. I thought it was reported. She said, of course, she was going to give that ring back. Ugh, she's so shady. I should have thought, of course, she's not going to give it back, right? Hey, Elizabeth Ross. Jip needs to pay them back and then donate. Yes, she does. She needs to actually pay more than them. Like, she needs to pay a lot of things back. And it's hard. It's hard for me to, 110. Stay cool, my friend. And hopefully Gypsy Rose will burn away. Just kidding. Just kidding. I heard someone say, like, they wouldn't be upset if some harm came to Gypsy Rose. I think I would be upset. I wouldn't be happy about it. I don't want anyone to be harmed in any way. Not even in prison. I mean, yeah. I was going to say Chris Watts, I wouldn't mind, but no, even him I don't want to be harmed. My benchmark for almost everything in true crime is Chris Watts. How do I feel about him? Ooh. Yes, thank you. Like and subscribe. I just started decorating for Halloween. I haven't done that yet. Oh wait, no, I do have my pumpkin in my window that says thankful, but I'm going to tell a truth here. I never took it out. It's been there all year. So I'm right on time now. I love when I catch up with the seasons with my decorating. Okay, Rachel, see you in a little bit. We'll be here. Still feels like summer in Georgia. Still feels like summer in Florida too, but we're given fall vibes here. It'll be a collective thing. Oh yes, you must be. It must be. Well, Australia and New Zealand. So you must be that way, because I know you guys are coming out of your winter. So we'll give fall and spring vibes. How about that? Okay. All right, let's keep going and we'll read this article. Oh my gosh. Okay. Habitat, this is way back. This is way back when she was in prison and they were worried about what was going to happen to the house. This was August 28th, 2015. And Habitat seeks to protect Blanchard home for potential new occupants. Everyone knows the house that Claudine Dee Blanchard's body was found in is vacant. That's a problem, said the executive director of Habitat for Humanity of Springfield. So Larry Peterson, and I remember seeing Larry's name. I didn't realize he was part of Habitat for Humanity, but in the very beginning, when she first came out of prison, I did a lot of deep dives into her old Facebook posts and what were people saying on Dee Dee's page. And I went into the shared pages of Nick and Gypsy and all that. But I do remember seeing Larry's name and saying, like, I wonder who that is. But now we know. Larry Peterson said a personal representative must be named in order to protect the property from vandals, weather, and other dangers. After all, it's possible someone else could move in someday, which the candied apple lady did. Is it Candy's Apples? What I just read it and I can't even remember. Claudina's daughter, Gypsy, would likely have served as the caretaker, but she's currently in the Greene County Jail, charged with murder and her mother's unaliving. Documents state that no one else is known who would be eligible to serve in her place. Instead, Greene County Public Administrator David Yancey has been appointed as the state's personal representative. Court documents say the state needs a personal representative to take charge and protect the property so that it's not rendered worthless. Peterson said the property was on hold for 6 months from the time of Dee Dee's unaliving, which was June 15th. He said he wasn't sure what would be done with the house at the time, but wouldn't rule out the possibility that someone could move into the house. Habitat for Humanity of Springfield also filed 2 claims against the estate, alleging it is owed money on account of 2 separate promissory notes and deeds of trust. The first claim is seeking roughly 40K, and the second claim is seeking roughly 8K for a total of roughly 50K. We don't read everything in its entirety, and or I stop and start things, and I do this for fair play use, but I do put the link to everything that we watch down in the description, and you can go on your own and read, watch, whatever you want to do. And I also do it because it's fair play use and I want to drive you towards that. If it's a creator's page, I want to drive you that way. And also news places always cite their sources, and I just think it's the right thing to do. Court documents say the value of the property is approximately $72,000, and the value of personal property within the home is unknown. So that was when the house was first starting to be discussed. I thought I turned off the ad blocker on this. I guess not. On Pink Villa, we have what happened to Gypsy Rose's first house where she lived with her mother explained. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's old Springfield residence has become a popular. Hold on a second, you guys. The dog needs to go use her puppy pad. Hold on one second. She always needs to do this, even though I take her out before. Ugh. Okay, which means I'm going to have to stop and pick her up. What happened to Gypsy Rose's first house where she lived? But I'm not complaining because I want that little girl to be with me for the rest of my life, or for as long as we can do it. What happened to Gypsy Rose's first house where she lived with their mother explained. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's old Springfield residence has become a popular tourist spot, initially abandoned. New residents, the words are not rolling off my tongue tonight. Hold on a second. Come here. I've been worrying a lot, and I'm just wondering if, like, my mind has anything to do with my word issue. Ever since I had my stroke, the words, yeah. Wonder if it has anything to do with that, like worrying more, so I'm stressed more, so I don't know. Anyway, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's old Springfield residence has become a popular tourist spot, initially abandoned. New residents now live in Gypsy Rose's first house where the gory incident once occurred. I mean, this picture of her is so photoshopped. I like it when they show the real photos of her because young girls are going to think that's what Gypsy. Anyway. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is actively trying to move on from her past and manifest a new healthy life, right? This must be under her narrative. We should pick a name for the Gypsy Rose narrative. Like, it's the lies, but we need to have something, come up with something snappy so I don't have to just keep saying the Gypsy Rose narrative, the GRB narrative. Certainly not a piece of cake with all the attention she has been getting since her December 23 release from prison. I can't even believe it's we're coming up on the holidays pretty soon. I can't even believe it's Friday again. Here we are on Friday again. Recently, there's been an influx of videos from true crime fans paying a visit to her old house in Springfield, Missouri, which, I mean, this has always been going on, where she lived with her late mother, Claudine Dee Blanchard. Initially abandoned, new residents now live in Gypsy Rose's first house where the gory incident once occurred. Who lives in the GRB Springfield home now? After Gypsy Rose Blanchard, 32, was charged with the second-degree murder of her mother, the residence was left abandoned for years. It also became a popular tourist spot for crime enthusiasts. In August, is it the I forget who lives near this house. Is it like a dead end street, or is it like can people drive through, or do they have to drive through, turn around in this, how dead ends have the round cul-de-sac or whatever and then go back out, or is it like a straight through shot? I'll keep an eye out in the chat to see if you answer. In August 2021, the residence was sold for $97 and is now occupied by a mother-daughter duo who moved into the house, per a report by Realtor.com. A change in the address and slight renovations were made to keep outsiders from visiting the house as a thrilling spot. The wheelchair ramp in front of the house, also highlighted in the documentaries on Gypsy Rose's story as a Munchausen by proxy survivor, no longer exists. In addition to the pink forefront, it has now been changed to blue to potentially distract unwanted visitors. That blue is even, it's does it blend into the neighborhood? I mean, or something, because even the blue is stands out to me, but I don't know. The craze around the TV personalities. Oh, she's a TV personality now? Springfield home has been dubbed as a nuisance by the neighbors. It has been reported that strangers come asking around about the residence location, which the neighbors refuse to give, which I've heard the neighbors are like, will even take a shotgun to you, which, I mean, I wouldn't take a shotgun. I mean, I wouldn't go that would distract me, a shotgun. Yes, it would. Do we see if it's a through Dee Dee and Gypsy lived in Aurora before Springfield. I grew up 12 miles from Aurora. I wonder which house they had there. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you lived by the one in Springfield. Yes, it's a dead end, you said. Well, see, that would make it even more annoying to have people coming and going like that, because, you know, they have to go by your house at least twice if they're going to come look at it. And chances are they're not going to go all the way down to the last dead end. They're going to like turn around in a driveway somewhere, because people are annoying like that. I can just see it. I can see it in my head. But I still like would want to do it. I still think I would want to do it. Hold on. Thomas Pengilly, a neighbor to Gypsy Rose's old Springfield home, told local news outlet KY3 in 2019, "I do find it frustrating that there are vehicles coming through here and they don't belong here. There are little ones around, and some of them going, that's another thing, going fast and stuff. I would worry about I would worry about anyone, the adults and stuff. Anyone." He also called the act ridiculous for glorifying the tragic incident in that house. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's reaction to people visiting her old home: fuck off. Oh, I mean, I meant to say F you, Gypsy. Woo! I said it out loud. I'm so sorry, you guys. I meant to say F you. I truly did. In my mind, I've been saying the F word. I said the F word already today. And once I let that cat out of the bag, I got to reel it back in, because man, I like to say the swear words. And if I say them, then I say them on air, and I don't like to say them on air. I just don't. It's a personal thing for me. It's not even just for you guys. I don't like to say it on air. So I do apologize. But F you. I almost said it out loud again. F you, Gypsy. In light of TikTok videos that showcase her Springfield house going viral, Gypsy Rose Blanchard broke her silence on the escalating mishap. I scammed a house, and I'm really mad at people for going by it because I unalived my mom in it. They're so stupid. The Lifetime star responded to one of the viral videos by calling out the people's incessive actions while comparing the Springfield residence where she unalived her mother to the Grand Canyon. Ugh, whatever, Gypsy. Blanchard stated on TikTok, "Y'all have no respect or decency. A tragedy happened in that house, yet y'all visit it as if it was the Grand Canyon. No, your mouth is the Grand Canyon, though. Your mouth of lies. Like, it never ends. It never ends." I just can't even stand her. I can't stand her. Let's keep going, shall we? You know, I like to go over to Reddit, and people over there were saying, like, what happened to the belongings in the house? And I was saying too, like, yeah, what happened to the belongings? And this person said, strange question, but whatever happened to all the belongings left in the house? Obviously, loads was probably crap and binned, but there must have been a lot of stuff, pictures, jewelry, etc. Did it just get all seized or put in storage? Can just imagine a massive lockup with 1,345 stuffed teddies and creepy dolls somewhere. Cecilia999 says her dad and stepmom went through the house and cleaned it out, and Habitat for Humanity sought to protect the house. And that's the charity that built it. ETA a year later, and Habitat for Humanity seemed to take over ownership. This was another thing. I, of course, will put the link for this link. And then was some discussion, and this person says, I doubt she wants anything to do with any of the crap left behind. I wonder if she did request that her mom and dad grab anything. I bet you she did. She's so greedy. All of her grandmother's jewelry was in the house. Oh, well, I'm sure they grabbed that. Gypsy Rose wants to keep the house and live in it. Now, I think wasn't there something that she did want to live in it? After getting out of prison, she even filed a petition while in prison to keep the house. And this person says, I don't know if this answers it or not, but my mom was unalived by my dad from domestic violence when I was like 4. Despite it being all of the evidence got put into a box in some cold case warehouse for me to pick up when I was 18, legally adult, because I am the only living family member. Well, that happened to you. That probably, like, do you think they really evidenced all those stuffies? I don't think they did. I'm pretty sure since Gypsy has a living father, all the evidence, anything of value was passed on to him, or Dee Dee's living relatives, or Gypsy is currently paperwork hell and everything in storage is being passed to her. There's so much paperwork when you survive a murder. The government has a lot of it, and a lot to dot and cross and T's, and a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross, and the process takes forever. Let's see if they said anything else. Legit question. Does Gypsy have to pay back any of the SSI or medical fraud? It's a good question. She's already admitted that she knew she wasn't sick. Like, has that ever, like, did that come out in Russ? If you're a lawyer or a legal aid or a legal aid lawyer, if you know anything about law, let's say, and want to come on and talk about these things, I really am looking for someone that knows their way. I mean, I used to be a legal secretary when I took a break off of social work, but I wouldn't consider myself anybody that could. I mean, I could hold a conversation, but I'm really looking for someone who knows. Who knows? I could BS a conversation, but I'm really looking for someone who knows. I'm kidding, you guys. I could hold a good combo with somebody though. And if you are interested, again, just feel free to email me, or I'm also over on the socials. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. The only one that I really don't go over to a lot anymore is X, which used to be Twitter. We used to stream over to them, but now they want me to pay them to stream to them, where I can stream free to every other place. So I can't see why I would pay anybody, but maybe people do that. Maybe that's a new thing, but it's not a thing I'm going to do. And then, of course, we have obviously trolls for Gypsy. Although I saw this woman, she had over 1 million followers on YouTube, and she was doing a Gypsy Rose prison routine, skincare routine, and she seemed to like really like Gypsy Rose. And I was like, oh. And then I went to look, and like her whole thing is like a 20 something girl tries things or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, but you just like put out to a million other 20 something. Like that's why people like her. She knows. She knows her audience and who she's catering to. Hold on a second. I got to fix my cord. And it's really sad. I figured out a way to keep it. Please just make it until the 21st of this month. That's when my YouTube chat comes. I'm praying to the laptop angels. Please let me make it just another month, and I promise I'll fix you. This person says, unfortunately, a lot of people have been getting dinged for benefits their parents claimed. I imagine her case is too high profile to pursue. At least that's what we hope. In many cases, the kids co-signed something they knew was fraudulent. She was 24 years old. She signed something fraudulent, Gypsy Rose did. I don't know if she sign anything on the house. Does anyone know? Let's see what this. This person sends us to this Claudine Ann Blanchard deceased case, and it looked like the PR supervised without will. So this looks like this was something to do with the will. So she had an estate of some sort. Again, if you are versed in law, I would really love to have you on the show, or at least pick your brain before I do a show so that have the answers. Okay, let's go back to where we were, if I can find it. This person says no for two reasons. One, it was her mother committing the fraud, which that is not true. Hasn't it been proven that she committed the fraud too? When my ex was garnished for back child support, his ex-wife got child support. And when his SSI claim was found to be fraud, they did try and make her pay it back. But at the end of the day, it was on them for approving it and not paying attention to fraud. But if she was an adult, she was having to sign stuff, wasn't she? Am I wrong on this? I don't know the case as well as some of you do. Like, I know that she should have been gone after, but I don't think she was. I actually think what the one person said, that maybe it was high profile and they just don't, Habitat doesn't want that. That's not the look that they want. It's probably bad enough they got this tarnish on their record. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, you guys are talking about the dog. Animals always tell the truth about things, don't they? I thought Habitat for homes, gave them a rent-free deal, and retained ownership. I don't think so. I do have some things that we're going to look at a little bit further down. But you could be right. I don't know. I'm just now digging into the house situation. She was pretending to be a minor, so she probably didn't sign anything. So yeah, maybe they didn't, but they should have. And it seems like something out there she signed that they could get her at, but maybe she didn't sign anything for Habitat. These are things. This is why I want that woman to come on, because I really would like to ask her some questions. I mean, even if she says she can't say them, then, at least that they've been asked. And in my mind, I've asked it. Oh, you guys are talking about cooking. Hey, by the way, we've got our first sponsorship. Speaking of cooking, I was thinking that because I've been doing this whole vegan vegetarian thing, but I've not been feeling very healthy at all. And I was considering eating meat again, but I was like, I want to eat meat again, but I want to eat it that's been ethically sourced, and I can't afford that. And then I get this email for this meats place that it's ethically sourced and they cook it. I mean, that's perfect for me, especially when I'm having one of my autoimmune flares, because cooking and standing for long periods of time can be really hard for me. And so we've got our first sponsorship, and I'm going to do a cooking show, a true crime cooking show. But that's like in a few weeks, sometime this fall, sometime this fall. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. Getting back to this, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, 97K, Missouri home where Mother Dee was Schmurder, has new residents. So this tells us a little bit about the new residents, although we know it's the woman that tried to email her, but Miss Flawless Nina, who we love, outed her and was like, hey, you can block her, but I know you watch me. So I'm watching you watching me, and I'm telling you this. And yeah, she got it out there. I'm sure Gypsy will be trying to start some kind of drama if it blows up too much to a level where she's uncomfortable. If you're not, let me see. We're going to skip forward because we know what the case entailed. And I'm seeing here that it says Gypsy went through multiple surgeries during her childhood. So this is a Gypsy Rose narrative. What happened to Gypsy Rose's childhood home? To this day, the Blanchard's former home where Gypsy's mother was unalive still exists, though has been given a new address in order to deter potential tourists from locating the home, which, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. Come on. After Dee Dee's unaliving in 2015, the home was sold in August of 2021 for $97,000. And according to TMZ, a mother and daughter now live there, much to the dismay of neighbors and local residents. This one's a lot like the other one. Talks about the mom. It's just a mom and daughter. And then talks about the building of the house, and then where she's living now, which looks like this was when she was still married to poor Ryan. Here we have Gypsy Rose's Blanchard's old house now has a whole new look, the address. The infamous pink house where Gypsy Rose, there's all my emails. The infamous pink house where Gypsy Rose Blanchard helped orchestrate her mother's unaliving has a new owner as well as a new color and address. It's located in Springfield, Missouri. The house has had its share of looky-loos. That's why I don't think I would want to live in a Schmurder house, because I can't stand the looky-loo thing. Blanchard hasn't set foot in the home since her release from prison on December 28th. Well, this is back when she lived with husband Ryan, have been holed up in 132. So property records show that the 1,080 square foot ranch built by Habitat for Humanity and gifted to the elder Blanchard was sold in August. Still living in the infamous murder house can be tough, which might explain why the house was made over. The pink siding have been painted blue, the wheelchair ramp removed. Last but not least, the house now has a brand new address, which I'm not going to share the address. These changes have apparently succeeded in foiling some true crime. Well, I guess there's got to be not smart true crimers out there too. Attempts to find the house, who then resort to asking neighbors for directions, some of whom refuse to help, according to the New York Post. Does a Schmurder house bad vibes ever truly go away? But despite the changes to its appearance and address, can a Schmurder house ever truly shed its past? Once unaliving occurs in a home, it can be forever stigmatized, no matter how much remodeling is done, says Florida, California real estate agent Kara Amir, who lived in not one, but two Schmurder houses. I had no idea until it was on the news, she swears. Two, though? It happened to you not once, but twice? I don't know. And you're a real estate agent? I don't know if I buy it. Anyway, there is something about if these walls could talk, and what would they say, Amir says. Living in a home that bore witness to an unaliving is not typically a place people want to live. As for the home's recent change in address, this was no easy feat. Such changes must be permitted through the county or city, and there has to be a good reason for it, which I would think this is a good reason. Address changes like that aren't just handed out, says real estate consultant Tyler Drew, who once worked in the Los Angeles County Land Assessor's Office. If a person were able to easily change their address, it would open up all manner of fraud. Yet the Blanchard house isn't the only notorious residence to get a change of address. Many Schmurder homes have employed the same tactic in an effort to shed their old reputation and start fresh. Here are some of the other old ones. Looks like the Sharon Tate one, where Charles Manson unalived a bunch of people. After the unaliving, the original house was raised, and the address of 1,150 Celio Drive was changed to 166. Okay. The 3.6 acre property is currently on the market for a whopping, whoa. Oh, look how pretty it is. The new one that was built, though. Is that it? Wow. But it's a lot of it. It's not the structure, but it becomes the land. You know what I mean? The Nicole Brown Simpson home was changed. I think the Amityville horror one was changed too, wasn't it? Here we have, I had to include this one, even though it was put in another article. That's annoying, those new pop-up things that you have to disable your ad blocker, or that's annoying. What's the point of having an ad blocker if you have to disable your ad blocker to look at the site? Gypsy Rose Blanchard criticizes those who visit home where her mom was unalive. No respect or decency. Here we go. The queen of respect and decency. The queen of the pink mansion. The pink castle house. The Mayberry house is telling us about decency. The queen who had a bunch of volunteers come and build a jacuzzi for her sore muscles is going to tell us about decency and respect. Ugh. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has words for those who have an interest in visiting the home where she helped her then boyfriend unalive her abusive mother. Okay, so abusive mother. I see there. This is the Gypsy Rose narrative. Of course it is. Because what news source in their right mind would come out with... Anyway, I'm not going to... Y'all have no respect or decency, she wrote in the post. A tragedy happened in that house, yet y'all visit it as if it was the Grand Canyon. Ugh. A set version of the Springfield home was heavily featured in The Act, a 2019 limited Hulu crime. Yeah, it was heavily featured, wasn't it? Now that they say that. About Dee Dee Blanchard's unaliving. Gypsy Rose Blanchard lived in the real house, which was gifted by Habitat. Yeah, so F you, Gypsy Rose. F you. So I thought that before we go into watching the recent last night, Sir Morbid, I haven't listened to it, but Sir Morbid had the woman back on the show. And I thought she is the woman that helped build the Habitat for Humanity. She helped plan it. She's a designer. She came back on the show to talk about everything. But I thought it would be interesting before we go into that to kind of look and see, like, how do you even get a Habitat for Humanity house? Like, what does that entail? What's that all about? I know, I think KJ said it was a scam, but yes, she also had to have that, which now it is, that's what it is. It was a kink playroom, that shed in the back, which she said that her mom made her go hang out in. Like, her mom probably just wanted, like, she demanded it. Gypsy demanded that shed. It was a compromise. So Habitat built it as a compromise. So here in Quora, somebody asked, like, who qualifies for a Habitat for Humanity house? How do I apply? And the answer was, to qualify for a Habitat for Humanity home, you must, 1, be living in a substandard housing. You must be living in substandard housing, any of the following, and not in exclusive lists: no hot water, too many people per room, no heating, etc. Be employed and have a good credit rating. 3, perform 180 hours. How did Dee Dee have a good credit rating? Wasn't she a scammer? Like, that's hard to believe, but okay. Perform 180 hours of work on you or someone else's Habitat house. They did 180 hours work, or on your, maybe that's why Gypsy was all up in the mix, though. Take a money management class provided by Habitat. Pay a mortgage whose term and monthly payments are affordable for your Habitat house. There may be other requirements, but these are the ones I know about. While I was a volunteer for a Habitat, there was a woman who, when she found out she had qualified for her house, rushed out and bought a ton of furniture and couldn't pay for it. That damaged her credit rating and she lost the house. Habitat isn't a charity and they are serious about the requirements. to apply. Wouldn't that be a bitch? Oh, God. Ugh. There probably was more to that story than just that, right? Let's move on because I have more stuff on the habitat. I thought here somebody says, "What's it like to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity?" It has music.
Because I have no tasks and I have no client calls. Although I do really need to update my Yelp page and my website to add photos because I feel like that's what's deterring people to call. And also it's like new. I just set it up yesterday or the day before yesterday. But
if that's true, then doesn't the government go after Gypsy? Like, because if they were using grants, I'm sure there were, I don't know. That's why I need a lawyer, isn't it? I need a lawyer.
I'm gonna go do that right now. Okay, excuse the hair. I'm on my break. Excuse the noise. Look at my hands. Look how friggin' dirty they are. So I just
a handy woman, and she's volunteering for Habitat for Humanity on one of her breaks.
got there, couldn't find somebody to sign me in. So I was talking to the person that's like a contractor setting up scaffolding. And basically he was like, "Oh yeah, it's my first day." I'm like, is there somebody in charge? And I just walked right in there to the back of the house, and then I just asked the first person that was wearing a staff shirt, and apparently he was the boss. So I signed in and everything, but down to the nitty gritty, I climbed up on scaffolding up to the second floor and the third floor, and we covered all the gaps with caulking, and then we went to
she's got music on in the background. It's annoying. For me, I love music, but I don't want to hear music the whole time somebody's talking and fighting. And then I don't know if this is copyright free music. So let me see. She just talks about it. So we're going to just skip this part because I don't want to have to deal with strikes, because I can trim it out once it happens, but then all the processing time, and it's a pain. So here we have over on Reddit, someone said, "This is my Habitat for Humanity home, 365 volunteer hours as down payment and 0% interest on $90K home loan, and it's wheelchair accessible for me." So this person says, "The numbers don't lie. There's a reason why 10,000 plus wait, that's an ad that I'm reading to you. Is this an ad too? What is this? The auto moderator said, "Thank you, Honey Flowers, for posting. Please bear in mind our rules. Be nice, no selling, no self-promotion." And then this person says, "Congratulations, beautiful paint color." Can we make it bigger? So this is a nice habitat. This is a nice home. 2-car garage. Nice. They probably have their wheelchair, like they can get their wheelchair in and out. Yeah, this one's a nice one, huh? Let's see if anyone asks. "I can't believe the house is only $90K. It's Habitat for Humanity, a charitable organization that builds homes. They're all over the United States. Congrats. I always wondered how the Habitat for Humanity developments work. Is it usually a full block of houses going up at once?" No, I remember there was a Habitat for Humanity house at the end of when I lived, one of the streets where I grew up. Yeah, it was just one. though, or was it one or two? I don't remember if there was one or two of them, but it was right across from a church, and I think the church helped the Habitat for Humanity in the building it. They do teach you how to do all the handy stuff while building it, which that would be really nice. Are there any, actually, why am I saying that? I could volunteer for a habitat. Like that would be another volunteering and learning things. That's a good idea, actually. Especially for single women that want to learn, because we're not really taught. The boys are taught, but the women, well, maybe it's changed. I hope it's changed, but growing up, it was always like we were inside doing the housework and the boys were out mowing the grass and stuff. So I don't know a lot about fixing stuff. The neighborhood that I'm purchasing has 2 blocks of Habitat for Humanity homes. They're building a whole community. Oh, I didn't know they were doing that. Currently at once, and they are gorgeous. From what I understand from talking with a couple of the people on the job site, they ask that if you're physically able, that you participate in some way with the construction of the home, usually by painting or helping with the landscaping. They also ask that you give back to the community during the construction process. They also don't always build them from the ground up. They buy them and then they revamp homes, flip them. They usually are what you're thinking of, but the home was built in 1983 and donated to Habitat. Yeah, see, after an elderly couple, disabled son passed away in a fire. It was then completely gutted, new everything, roof, HVAC, etc. I am so happy because it's an older neighborhood and Habitat homes don't come with fences or garages. Well, Gypsy's did. Well, a shed, a she shed, a Gypsy Rose she shed, a Gypsy Rose play she shed. And I have a 2-car garage. Yeah, I noticed that. That's very beautiful, honey flowers. They didn't really do a lot of teaching, but we can always contact Habitat's handyman for advice. We cannot sell the home till after 10 years. Once we hit the 10-year mark, they can sell it back to, then we can sell it back to Habitat or put it on the market if they choose not to. As far as income, you have to check out your local Habitat's website for eligibility. And going over to the Habitat for Humanity's website, if you're interested in volunteering. Wait, this is the wrong one. I thought I was in volunteer, but if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, the need is there. And I'm going to link this site if you want to look through it, if you're interested in knowing more of the ins and outs. I can only lightly touch on a lot of this stuff unless you want to do a specific deep dive into this. But I did look over on Wikipedia because I did hear there were some downfalls to challenges, some things that aren't so great about Habitat for Humanity. And because I know Katie Joy covered it, and I just kind of wanted to lightly talk about the criticism that Habitat for Humanity has against them. Apparently, there's some issues with safety of volunteers, like much construction activity, which carries inherent risk. Habitat for Humanity construction has led to serious injuries or death to some volunteers. Cost effectiveness. Habitat has been criticized for its slow and inefficient rebuilding efforts. along the Gulf Coast after Hurricane Katrina and Rita. An article in the Weekly Standard in American Opinion magazine questions the cost effectiveness of habitats building projects. To estimate cost effectiveness, the Weekly Standard alleged that all costs associated with building a habitat home must be used, including the volunteer time and training. Habitat affiliates in the region have remained some of the largest home builders in the area and have received numerous awards and acknowledgments for their work in building quality homes. Families are required to partnering with low income families. Families are required to show an ability to pay for their home in addition to the need for housing. I wonder what Dee showed for her ability to pay. With these requirements, because did Dee ever have a job? With these requirements, homeless, oh no, she did. She worked at that nursing facility with Christy. With these requirements, homeless and low income families may fail to qualify for a habitat home. Most American Habitat affiliates perform credit checks and criminal record checks on applicants before partnering with them for the construction of a home. Some critics therefore allege that Habitat misrepresents the nature of its work by partnering with families that might be considered nearly middle income. That's true. To address this, many Habitat affiliates in the United States partner only with families that fall below the government set, poverty line for their area. The current poverty rate is measured according to the United States Department of Health. Ousting of the founder. The Habitat Board investigated Millard Fuller for actual harassment, but found insufficient proof of inappropriate conduct. Some Fuller supporters claim that the firing was due to a change in corporate culture. Before Fuller's termination, attempts were made by former President Jimmy Carter to broker an agreement that would allow Fuller to retire with his $79K salary intact. When Fuller was found to have violated the non-disclosure portion of this agreement, he was fired, and his wife, Linda, was also fired. So those are some of the issues with Habitat for Humanity. There is a volunteer that helped that we saw in the beginning that Nina talked about. My question is, do you guys know, did this person that is talking out now, did she come before or after the cat's crochet? Does anyone know? We're going to go in and start watching the Morbid interview. Let me pop over into chat really quick and see what you guys are saying. Yes, tickle that bell for notifications. Thank you for the thumbs up, Maddie. It's 2:35 a.m. here in the UK. I'm not even going to try to say that word. What is that? How do you even say that? From, I don't even know. I do see the UK though, so we'll just say you're in the UK. They were homeless due to Katrina, but not verified that they actually were there during Katrina. Scammers. I want to know how she had good credit with all the scamming she did. I think, well, anyway, I'm not gonna, yeah, but I think something. Okay. Let me see. I love that you guys are just kind of chit-chatting with each other. I love to see that. Elizabeth said, never give Gyp a homeowner's choice or you will wind up with the tacky eyesore. Yes, Team Florida here too, by way of Pure, Michigan. That's where I grew up. Okay, so let's keep going and let's go into this interview that I have with Sir Morbid. I'm going to try to behave. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to try to behave because who's up there? Well, no, I think I could probably behave. Okay, here we go. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, like Chrissy said. And if you like my content, please subscribe. Check to see if you're subscribed, because sometimes people think that they're subscribed and they're not. And that's a free way to help me out. And it's very easy if you don't like the channel to unsubscribe. But I don't think you're not going to like it. I think you're going to like it here. If you found your way here and you've stayed, I think you're going to like it.
Surprised that Ken realizes the
and now that he's out, like she's out, sorry, my boys all been sick, like he's having to see the real her, and from what I have heard, she's psycho.
Yeah, because how can you know?
This is just before she gets called up onto panel, so I'm curious to see how she even gets up there.
Who the real person is? You're talking through a phone and letters, like that. You can be anyone you want at that point.
but I was surprised that Ken realizes the reality of his situation, if that makes sense. Like I thought he was totally blind to it. Like just
Wait, Morbid,
no.
1 second. Katz is in the backstage. She wants to come up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, look, I get kicked off at 11. I have to go to my phone because I have Wi-Fi disconnected at 11 because my son. So at 11, I'll be off, and she can.
I like the
and I'll just
Royals.
be on my
Kat,
phone.
your device is not even connected. You're gonna have to figure that out.
The Cats, I want to talk to you because I jumped off last time and listened to you. And
The Meghan and Harry stuff is getting really boring to me. Like Meghan is just another person. She's kind of, although she hasn't unalived anyone, but she's very self-absorbed, like Gypsy Rose is, and she creates drama just to feed her ego.
I want to talk to you so bad one day, but I'll sacrifice myself because
All right, we got 7 minutes to 11. I'm assuming.
They say that you don't know someone until you've lived with them.
All right, there she is. Hey, Cats and Crotch. I mean,
See, I just think that I am not tight-laced. I can joke with the best of them, but this woman has already said she doesn't want him to say that. So why must he keep saying it? And she's an older woman. It's like you're saying it to your grandma, and I don't get down with that. I don't.
I did it again. I did it again.
Kat,
I'm
I feel
loving
so
it.
bad that you got kicked out of Katie Joy's live last night. It
Yeah, I
was
saw
so
that. I
sad.
felt bad too.
wasn't it?
I texted
my
you
God.
right after.
Why did you get kicked? Why did you get kicked? What did you
She
do?
convinced me to come on live because she wanted to talk about the HOH, and the panel wanted to ask me about the colors and things of that nature. And as soon as I popped in, they started talking about the finances.
And by the way, I don't want to really show anything KJ on my channel. I don't want to draw her over here. I consider Katie from Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime just an amazing person. She went after her nursing license, so she's dangerous, and so I'm not going to show the interview with Katie Joy and this lady. We're just gonna listen to the one here over on Morbid.
And I'm like, no, I don't know anything about the finances. That was not my part. And they just continued. Well, you can tell them that is how I kept saying, I don't know about it. I was on the design team, and it got a little brutal. And then she kicked me off the panel.
She's
And
a bitch. Don't worry.
Yeah,
and
and
then,
honestly,
well,
it seems
then
like
we
you guys
went
are
into
having
the
two
chat,
different
and I said, why
conversations.
did you do that? Why did you kick me off? You asked me to come and talk
You're
about
welcome.
things.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And then now I'm blocked. Yay. So I guess I'm climbing up
Well,
the
welcome to
ladder.
the Block by TD Joy Club. We're
Kat,
many.
I have 5 minutes. I just have one question. I sent it through Super Chat last time. The last time you were talking, you
Mhm.
said that you caught on to Gypsy being older than she really was by the way she was acting. And
Yes.
you said you Googled, you said you got on Google or on the internet back then, Ask Jeeves, whatever it was, but then you got distracted. So what did you find? What did you Google? Like, what did you look up online and find?
Ooh.
Sorry.
The birth certificate.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes,
Did you confront them with
you
it?
can still get it. I think Fancy has the original now because it's out there. But yeah, here's a fun fact, and
I love
my
fun
daughter's
fact-
gonna get
fun
mad at me.
facts.
But while I was out there during that time, there was a 2-week span. So my daughter came and she actually met
Oh, I
Gypsy
know,
Rose,
Maddie. It was so sad to see
and
you go.
she kept coming to me and say, I don't want to play with her. I don't like her. I don't want to play with her. And
Oh.
she was 9 years old at that time.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
And I just looked at Dee Dee and I said, well, look, we need to go ahead and cut this short. I've got some of the information. But my daughter was actually scared of her.
No
Oh,
shit.
You know
You
why?
just look at her. She was creepy looking and weird looking, and she still.
But,
I'm
I
sorry.
did not. I honestly,
that's so interesting. Her daughter, well, I mean, that was in the act too. Gypsy was surrounded by the kids and she had the, remember, and she just didn't want to be with the kids. She wanted to be with the teenagers.
did not know. I mean, I had her with me. I had to bring her to the meeting. And
Right.
wow, it
You-
was, my daughter was almost in tears. She was just like, I don't want to be here. I don't. Now, my daughter is the most social person and she's amazing. And at 9 years old, when you hear a child saying, I don't want to be around somebody, you listen.
Do you know
Yeah.
why she felt that
100%.
way?
Hmm?
And who says that? Who says I don't want to, like, you would think, okay, so she was like 16, 17, 18 years old around that time. And she's saying, I don't want to be around a 9-year-old. Like, oh,
Do you know why she felt that way?
She just said she scared me.
No, she just felt like an instinct about her.
That's all she kept saying. She scares me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. She scares me.
Yeah,
No
But
shit.
senses,
She's
I
like
guess.
that
she really
fake
is like a
crazy
possum. She like
voice
plays dead, but
scares
possum
everybody.
She
normally.
plays dead.
I know she
Mhm.
like she plays
Possums are really
innocent.
gentle.
I thought you said
Possums
she plays
really
dead.
are.
It's like they play dead. They play innocent, but
Yeah.
then like
No,
they'll
yeah.
scratch. Like they attack my dog, and one little
Oh,
scratch infection. They're
yes.
dangerous.
If they feel
So
threatened, they will come after you tooth and nail. 100%.
right. So, but did
Mhm.
you?
Thank you so much, Moni. Moni's ooh. Moni says, love your channel. Thanks for all you do. What a soothing voice you have. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Confront Dee Dee with the birth certificate information?
No, I did not.
Oh damn.
I know.
That's
Well,
all right.
Yeah, you probably felt like it
was
wasn't your
pretty
place.
I'm
much.
working really hard on when people give me compliments, just saying thank you and not because it's so easy to say thank you. Like I've never liked my voice or whatever, but I'm really working on, and I hope that you guys, if you catch yourself doing the same thing, just really work on accepting a compliment because we all have these things about ourselves that for one reason or another we might not like each other or like ourselves. We might not like each other too, but it's always important to be able to accept a kindness and not deflect it. So thank you.
No, it was pretty much known at that
Hindsight's
time.
2020.
No, it was pretty much known at that time
Oh, really?
that because of certain questions I had to ask, and you know, Dee Dee she was in good health at that time, and I think Fancy will back this up. They had to run from one place to another because they were already getting questions. I'll say it that way.
Is that got to change their name with
before I finish? Morbid.
Yep.
I want to apologize for staying on the panel so long the other night.
Oh, don't be.
Why?
No,
It was a
well,
pleasure to have
it
you on.
just no, it went a little bit too far getting into my cats and crochet and
No,
other issues and
no.
stuff. But I want to apologize for that, Morbid.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I would
You're
like
like
to
our
Pleasure to have
grandma.
you on. It's always a pleasure to have anybody on.
That's weird that she would apologize, but oh, I didn't listen to the whole interview, but it was only for like 20 or 25 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. I have 1 minute. Is Brian Rogers the cousin you're referring to? Just shake your head, yes or no.
Blink twice.
Yeah. Blink twice.
I'm blinking.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need to know.
Was Ken arrested?
Christine.
Oh no, Ken, no.
But it was for less charges. I mean,
okay, misdemeanor.
like a long time
he had a
ago,
bad hair day when he got
He had more hair then.
I mean, it's better than that Pizza the Hut over there. The lying Natasha Cooper and pretending to know true crime. She doesn't know shit about true crime.
The only
That
true
lady.
crime she knows, I guess,
She's
is
like that
the
blob in Spaceballs.
She committed true crime against her recliner.
You know what?
I'm just not a fan of making fun of the way people look either. It's just low hanging fruit to me.
This wildflower or wild whatever person is attacking me in the chat.
Wildflower.
What? Wildflower?
Keeps calling me a liar.
That's
Tells
the
me
one
not to get up on the panel. Can y'all
That
tell me
happens.
why?
It's
I don't know who
Well,
they
you're already
are.
on the panel, so.
Just don't react because that's what they want. So just
Actually,
don't.
that's
Just
true.
save yourself the trouble.
Oh, Apple, I want to address one little thing with you, hon.
Okay.
I was not angry at Morbid for calling me the crotchet. We were laughing.
I never said.
And he even said no. The other person said it because I guess they misread it. But sweetie, I was laughing. I did not take offense to him with saying
That's
that.
not what I said. Have you watched my video?
No, I'm talking about what you just said a while ago.
No, Katie Joy said that Morbid was being inappropriate.
I love
and
Apple.
disgusting,
She
and that the
seems
panel
so
and the panel
sweet.
members were being crude and calling me shit.
Lord.
She's got such a stick up her ass, man.
She's
They were basically trying to accuse us of bullying you, and
she's very good at explaining things and being like, no, listen, this is what I mean.
And then yet you
She's
get
very calm. She doesn't get angry at people. She just, she doesn't lose her shit, or maybe she does. I've never heard her lose her shit, but she stays pretty calm.
blocked on her TikTok.
Even when Katie Joy lost her shit on her and like flew off out of the chat, she was like, and she's gone.
That's what I said. That's not. I wasn't saying that about you. That I was basically relaying what I heard Katie Joy saying about you.
Okay. Well, honestly, I could care less.
And Katie Joy
says.
is not a bully. She's the one that's the one that probably got bullied in high school and all throughout her grade school. She's the one that was stuck in the locker room without peanut butter and jelly.
Baloney.
This is the type of person that Zach
call
Morris would
baloney on
probably
that.
walk past. Okay.
I call
Screech
baloney
would
on
even
that.
walk past.
She's probably the one, just like Gypsy Rose, that was the teacher's pet and would narc on people. That's she strikes me as that person, and that she would try to get into all those like the really high social groups. And if she did get into them, they didn't make her feel welcome and happy.
Katie Joy.
Yeah, because I know a girl that records.
Screech loved Lisa. So Katie Joy would have 0.0 chance.
I know
Screech.
Well, she contacted me as soon as we got off. She contacted
she would
me.
have.
Oh.
Yeah.
And kept asking me questions about the HOH. And she wanted to know if I had all the files and all this. And it kind of alarmed me that it was so hard questions, so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I just told her to go straight to the HOH page. And there is a form to fill out. And that's when we as a community, in the region, we would decide who could get what first. It's sad that we cannot help everybody.
Oh, I
but
love
we
Becca
would take the
Scoops.
most severe cases first. And
I just noticed today that Becca Scoops subscribed to the channel, to Parawomenradio. I was like, Becca Scoops? She subscribed? What? She knows who I am? Of course she does. I mean, not of course she does, but she has put comments down in my comments on video. So I know she knows who I am. And I am going to ask her to come on. I'm just working up my nerve. I don't know. I'm working up my nerve. So
Dee and Gypsy was one of the first because of the flood, Katrina and everything, and needed to move them quickly. And then she proceeded to tell me that there was 2 mortgages on the house, that I misspoke about there's never a mortgage. And again, I said, I apologize. I did not say it that way. I did say normally there is not a mortgage because you can get the government help, even helping with utilities and things of that way.
Courtney
And
Ray,
she
who
just
is
kept
Jen, or is it Ken? Is Ken's looking really uncomfortable lately? You're saying like he's looking for his escape. I agree. But is there somebody in this named Jen, or did you just mean Ken? Sorry. I'm reading the chat while I'm listening to this as well.
on pressing me, and I said, well, thank you for being nice and asking me questions, but I'm going to end this. And then she wanted me to come on the live, and bam,
Hey, Cat's
I
Crochet,
got
can
black
you clarify the HOH you said?
The HOH?
HOA, HOA.
Yeah,
It's for your home.
HOA is homeowners association. Is that what you're saying?
Right? Yeah.
HOH.
Oh, HOH.
HOH. What's that?
Yeah. Homes for Habitat or something?
Oh,
No.
Habitat for
Habitats for Humanity.
Okay.
HOH is Habitat for Humanity.
That doesn't make
Okay, I
sense.
didn't know that. HOH, Habitats
Yes.
of Humanity.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got it.
That's what I would think. All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're confused because people are used to HOA.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought
that's
it
a
was.
homeowners association
Correct,
or
yeah,
something
so-
like that. No, HOH.
So I
and
have
my
a
southern accent, I'm sorry, it just
Oh no,
kinda...
your southern accent is great. I love it. I love it. Hey, I have kind of a question slash. Yeah, I'm Becca.
Hi, Becca.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
I
good,
heard
thank
you
you.
the other night, and the background to them getting that house is it. I'm trying to piece it together, but I think at first when they came to Missouri after Katrina, they were put up in a home somewhere else in Missouri. It was kind of like a female doctor. You might not know all this background, but a female doctor that was. Oh no, Natasha's back. A female doctor that had put
Oh
them
God,
up.
I'm gonna throw up if I say that again.
It's Natasha. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
And I don't know the backstory of that, but good gosh.
Okay, I think what you were saying where they
It's
they
her
were
high
kind of
school
in a
prom picture. Don't worry.
they were kind
Yeah.
of in a stressful situation. You were kind of alluding to that they're the because I'm thinking
That's another thing. When how many are up on panel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't like when all of this is going on. Like the most I like up on a panel is 4 people. And on mine, you notice I've never had more than 4 people. I don't even think I've never had more than 4 people. But my limit, and I won't do more than 4. So because for me, I get confused. I don't even know who's talking. Well, I recognize Becca's voice and I recognize Charlotte's. Actually, there's some pretty there's voices that are easily, I can recognize Apple, Cats, Becca, and Morbid. And luckily those are really the only people talking. But yeah, it gets crazy for me. I can't understand. I don't know who's talking, although I guess it doesn't really matter who's talking, right?
Thanks for the donut.
They were
Except I mean, of course it matters that who Cat's talking, but other than that.
at that other location, possibly. You probably don't know anything about that.
Yes,
but
I do.
I'm thinking,
Yes,
okay.
I do, because we were
okay.
at the beginning of when Katrina and all their quote documents were destroyed, and the weather, the water, and all that. Yes, I do know
Okay.
all that.
Okay. Because there's some old footage of them. You guys might remember this footage of them coming, and they're going into a house, but it's not that pink house. It's a different house, and there's a female physician there, and they're wheeling Gypsy in, and Dee Dee's there, and Dee Dee's waving to everybody, and that was their first location.
I
And
didn't realize that was a different house.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was
and then-
kind of like, I don't know how y'all pronounce it. It's kind of not like a wayward house, but it was like a facility for
Right,
someone
right.
being
I just don't
on
feel
hold.
comfortable.
Right.
I was thinking, because you said that we can say whatever we want in chat. Like, I don't feel comfortable having a guest up on my panel, and like she was saying, why is that person in chat harassing me or doing whatever? I don't feel comfortable inviting somebody up onto my channel and then allowing somebody in chat to harass them. And then I don't know, I just wouldn't, it doesn't feel, but that's his thing, so that's where you go for that type of thing. But my thing is something different. And I think all of us have different things. Sounds like there's a police car out front. I'm going to play this and then go and look out front. Well, okay, guys.
They're on the list until the home is built. So yes, they did stay in.
Okay.
It's not really a rehab. It's
right.
I don't want
I
to
know
say
what
the
you're
name
saying.
of the organization.
Yeah, it was. I think it had to do with that female physician. Natasha, stop it. And they were. That's so distracting.
I'm not going to look at the TV right now.
Natasha, why? Why are you back?
Because I heard I was being talked about.
Oh no.
Hi, Natasha.
Natasha.
You want to be my friend?
Cat's here.
Hey, Cat.
Are you a recliner? Then I'll be your friend.
Am I a what?
A recliner. Ouch.
Are you lazy boy?
Thanks for the dono.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, what's the other question? I don't want to talk to Natasha.
I have a question.
Thanks for the
Sorry, I
dono.
don't have money to give you for food. I'm going to find it somewhere else.
She'll just go get like.
Oh, by the way,
Grubhub and then
Natasha,
tell them she didn't eat.
I was actually in my young years the corporate designer for Lazy Boy, so I can help you with your recliners. No lie, you can look up my profile.
There
Everybody
you
is
go,
somehow
Natasha.
doxing me, and
New
you
best
can.
friend.
I only buy recliners at yard sales.
Okay, well, there's some on the road with rats and fleas on it. Would you like that one?
No, because I have TikTok battles to do.
Yeah, I think you need to call Dr. Now, Natasha. Get off the true crime and maybe get on the 600-pound life. I don't
Does
know.
anybody know Dr. Phil eat cheese?
Phil cheese.
Okay. I was out front. I don't even know what this is. So I'm going to fast forward it because I'm not really, like I said, you guys can go and watch it over. I will be sure to put the link. But let's go past that part. And I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I just do things a little bit differently, and I don't want to watch that. So I will put the link will be down there if you guys want to watch it.
Tears, blood, money, like not blood money, but what
It was all free to them.
Exactly, and this is just so mind-boggling to me. I can't comprehend how people can be gifted such.
There's more than you realize.
I know.
That is one thing, and I regret saying it to that KJ. It is so rewarding when you realize you really have done the right thing, and they actually are appreciative.
I guess for me,
they do take care of.
Name calling is like putting a Jabba the Hutt up and acting like you're that person for me, I just don't. It's not what I agree with. I'm not trying to be difficult or anything. It's just not what I agree with in life, and so I don't. But I'm also once in my life, it might have been something that I would have found funny too. I'm just in a different space, and just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I'm hating on it or I hate him or anything like that, because I just am so fed up with if you don't agree with something or you don't like something, you're a hater. And that's just not true. It's just like, I'm sure there are things that maybe I do in this world that he doesn't like, or I don't know. And we should all be able to say, I don't agree with that, and I'm just going to move on from it. Move forward
for things,
because you're changing lives, literally.
It does. It changes their life, and they actually grow and move forward because they've got a new chance of life.
Right.
But It's not
Thank
just
you.
Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose that takes advantage. It's not just them.
No, but
There are multiple people that take advantage of generosity of all of us. We don't get paid for this. None of us do. It is what we put in ourselves and do this.
That's amazing to me
And
because
when
I
someone
thought she would have at least gotten paid for being the designer. So even the design people aren't getting paid. Interesting.
especially of her caliber, is now doing it now, it sickens me, if that makes sense. It's
that's
just
understandable.
And
Absolutely.
that's the only reason I stepped up and said, "Hey, I was there at the beginning, and I know what we went through with them. I know Dee Dee was not a victim. Well, she's a victim, but Dee Dee
Right.
was not malicious to her at all, at all.
Right.
Right.
Gypsy Rose
And Gypsy had a
was
temper.
the one. She has a
Gypsy had a
temper.
temper.
She
Right.
has a
You're not
temper
the only one
beyond
that's
you
ever
can
said
ever
that.
imagine.
Yeah, I've
There's
heard that before.
multiple witnesses have come forward
Mhm.
and who knew Gypsy. And the one thing they say, and these people don't know each other,
Okay.
basically. These are all different situations.
Who am I
And
speaking
they
with?
all and
That's Becca.
they say that Gypsy had a very bad temper
One
and she
hundred
would
percent.
go after her mother. And it's more
100%.
than
Well,
one
she could
person
shoot
that has
herself
said
with
that.
it.
So
100%.
that's so
She even
interesting. I've heard that before, that she ran the show. But now they're saying she actually was handsy, and that's so interesting to me. And yeah, boy, what do you think it's going to take to bring Gypsy down? Now we're talking about her being handsy with people.
took
True.
that
Right.
gun thinking it would kill her, and it was a BB
Right.
gun.
I mean,
Yep.
yes.
Becca,
Yes.
Becca, did you see
Yeah.
Bobby Petrie, the one with her cousin with all the tattoos?
Right.
Did you see when Dee Dee, when it first occurred, he came out and he said something to the fact of like, "Oh, we knew we knew Gypsy would eventually get her. We knew Gypsy would eventually snap
Yes.
and kill her mom."
Yeah.
So it
He
blows
was
my
very
mind that he said that and he
Mhm.
knew, and now he acts like now he's
Mhm.
saying the Munchausen by proxy bullshit.
Right. That was one
May
of his
I
first
ask?
things. Yeah,
May
go
I
ahead.
ask all of you a question, please?
Yeah.
You've all of you have seen the real Gypsy
Right.
of what people are bringing out with the photos and with the text messages and everything.
Yeah.
Did any of you think that she was capable of doing this, or did y'all think one day she's going to
Thanks for the
snap?
dono.
Because I
Oh hell
knew she was
yeah!
going to snap.
Oh yeah, I think she's capable of it because it
I
already happened.
reported
So
her. You know,
You can laugh at whatever you want, Tammy. That's my whole point here. You can laugh at whatever you want. I'm putting the link down, and you can go over to his page and laugh if you want. I'm not trying to keep anybody from laughing.
I'm
as a
sorry, but I believe
mother.
I do believe the eyes are the window to the soul, and
Mhm.
Gypsy has like Wade Wilson eyes, except hers are squinty and crooked. Those
The little beady eyes.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
she's got those dark black eyes, and you know she spent $300 on eye drops. They're supposed to lighten her eyes. She's like a moron.
What?
She wants to lighten
What?
her eyes.
Yeah,
Weird.
That's not safe for someone that has.
yeah. There's eye drops from like,
Are those safe? Can you go blind?
yeah.
No, well, it can affect your vision, and it depends if you're on certain medications, those blood pressure
She
medications.
take a lot of medication. I
Well, first of all,
imagine.
she's pregnant, and she cannot have that kind of medicine in her
No.
body
Yeah.
because it's
No.
a
She don't
steroid.
care. She
Oh,
don't care though. She's still getting her hair bleached and
Yeah, I
all
saw
that
that.
crap.
yeah,
because
that's
she's
true.
she's trying to be what Ken likes. Ken likes blonde chicks with nice breasts
I
and
don't.
certain size.
I think that's
She's
part of
that's
it, Charlie.
true.
Sorry to interrupt. I think that is part of it, Charlie. But if you've been watching Nina's videos, or if you there's a TikTok creator called Drew. I've never watched her, but she seems very lovely, and
Oh,
she seems to be
yeah.
she seems to be copying her, because Drew went
She is.
blonde.
That's what the PR.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what Brad Banyan told her to do that.
yes.
I
Brad
have
Banyan.
heard.
That's why.
Drew.
Well, that's why I said you're paying $12,000 for them.
I
That
have heard that she is copying another pregnant woman. Isn't it crazy that she's like she doesn't know how to behave in any situation?
is correct. And Gypsy Rose showed up at a grocery store, showing a banana, showing a papaya, doing exactly what Drew is doing.
Yeah.
Right.
That is correct.
Oh wow, so they have the same PR
And
team?
you know how
No,
much
no, no,
of
no,
a
no.
loser
No,
No,
Basically,
Drew, the PR team told Gypsy to follow Drew and to just mimic
Yes.
her, basically.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes.
That's so
but
weird.
That's what they told her.
but not
And did you
And I
copyright.
notice the photos, the same dress
Hmm.
on the baby
oh yeah,
reveal?
Wow, she's
Yeah.
really
the
copying her
same.
that much.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I
That's
saw that
crazy.
post.
Apple, send it to
She's
me later.
copying
I will do. I will do it. I will
everything.
do. And even the song where she's rubbing her belly with the shorts on, like
Oh no, that was a bad.
Yeah.
That was
That was so bad.
like she
Oh,
wasn't
with her
even doing it
dancing?
right. If you're gonna do a TikTok trend, like do
You
it
just
right.
gotta be more pregnant to do that. It doesn't work when you're like only like a few months.
Yeah,
Do
and
they
you don't even show your whole body.
do they talk about the house anymore?
I've ever met.
I can imagine.
She knows how to
In
turn
what
it on,
way?
turn it off. She knows
Okay.
how to turn the tears on, turn it off. She knows how to be aggressive and turn it off and come back and
I want to go back
They're
and
not
listen to that.
secure in themselves and have
Yeah,
their
she's
own.
like a sponge, but like not in a good way.
That's why she tries
Mhm.
to be like Mia.
She's never been
A
social.
chameleon, yeah, a chameleon.
Hey, I have seen that Mia is taking her to court. Is that true? Is she suing her?
She's
Yeah.
never been able to be a social person, as in like a normal. Now part of it is true that Dee Dee did use her and manipulated the system. That part is true, but Dee Dee did not use it as harm, as
Right.
she
She
was
did it
just
to
doing
give
it to
her.
take care of her child because
Yeah.
Dee Dee did not have a support system, and that
Well,
I
you know,
can back up. But
I thought that Gypsy dressed the way she did, like back in the day with her mama. I thought she dressed the way she did to kind of go along with like the whole con,
mm-mm,
like, oh, I'm a sick, weird little kid. But now seeing her now,
mm-mm,
she just is weird.
mm-mm,
I mean, I
mm-mm.
got like everybody laughed at me on TikTok because I said, I was like, you're weird, girl, you're weird. You dress weird. You dress like you got Down syndrome. I can say that. My nephew has Down syndrome and they dress a certain way. She's freaking weird. And I don't know why these stands are like, slay queen. Like,
No,
Yeah.
she really did that.
No, I've worked with a lot of different disabilities, okay? And to be honest with you, she's the most egregious person I've ever met.
I can imagine.
Um, she knows how to
in
turn
what
it on,
way?
turn it off. She knows how
Okay.
to turn the tears on, turn it off. She knows how to be aggressive and turn it off and come back and apologize. She does not know who she is
No,
the
she doesn't.
problem.
Yep.
And all I am begging, if anyone listens to this, especially Christy, Rod, Ken, even Gypsy, go into true therapy
Mm-hmm.
because you can be a good person if you truly go into, I'm talking about
That's
deep dive
true.
therapy, not
Yeah.
just somebody on
Yeah,
the
are you
phone.
talking?
I think anybody, well, unless you have some type of really some kind of mental disorder that's not going to let you do that type of inner going inside of yourself. But I think like anybody can turn their life around and be a good person. My benchmark is even Chris Watts. Even after a period of time, if he was like a good person in prison, which he's not being a good person in prison, I think even in prison you can turn your life around and become a productive something in this world.
Thanks
She's
for
a
the
pretty huge
dono.
therapist, so how seriously could she be taking it?
Well,
They would
I
put
mean,
her, they would take her away and put her somewhere to give
well,
her.
she's doing that. She's doing that telehealth therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that's not. That's
that's
just they will. That's just a cushion.
yeah.
I
Right.
don't know.
When
I do.
I'm sick. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, is she doing her therapy over the phone, telehealth? Because that's how I do my therapy. And it's like, what's the point of having to get dressed, do your hair, do your makeup, do whatever, pay for, get in, drive, or pay however you're getting to the place, sit there in the waiting room, feeling awkward and looking at it, and then having to go in. What's the difference? It's much easier getting up and just like brushing your teeth, washing your face, maybe put a hat, do something with, I don't know, but it's so much easier and less awkward.
I'm about to get into a
Well, and
ball of
she
junk.
managed.
Say an alcoholic won't help, or a drug addict won't help. They can go to that.
I mean, who's eating?
Well, I
Sorry.
Or
That was
somebody.
that
Sorry,
was
I did
Natasha.
not need to say the
Damn
certain
it, she
word.
wanted some.
Somebody's digging into some snacks, late night snacks.
Who's
Oh,
got the chips?
someone just did
I wish
Natasha
it was
Pooper in the
me.
chat.
I hear
Excuse, we love
crackling.
you. She's gone.
I hear crackling. What's
Oh.
that? Okay.
By the way,
Oh, is that Natasha trying to get something to eat?
no, Natasha? No, she's
No,
eating
he
I
wanted
just heard a
them.
lot of crackling.
She has a recliner that feeds her through a feeding tube.
Oh.
Very
Okay,
similar to that
Margaret,
of a
I
Gypsy
promise
Rose
I
feeding
would
tube,
never.
but it's more AI, just like the
No
AI
wonder.
crib.
Is it because she's always online that she's having to be fed through her recliner? Is that what he's saying?
I would
The
never
Gypsy
want to get on
purchased.
Morbid's bad side. I would never want to get on his bad side.
Why?
He doesn't have any bad sides.
Morbid's great.
Thanks for the dono.
I will say, I think that AI crib is going to be a saving grace because, like, it rocks the baby back to sleep when it cries,
She doesn't
stuff
have to
like
do
that.
anything.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying because she don't know, like, I feel bad for the baby, but it might be in the best interest that she doesn't have
Yes.
much interaction. But then the AI thing also is stupid because I'm like, babies wake up and cry because they either need their diaper changed, they're hungry, or they need to be cuddled. So you're
Yeah,
just
that
gonna,
sounds like
you're just
Ken.
gonna No, but what I was gonna say is her therapy though, she mimics, you can tell like that sociopath like comes out of her when she says,
Thanks for the
"Oh, my
dono.
therapist said that the reason I act the way I
I would
did was
like to
wrong."
know the therapist's name because I can.
She's had 2 different ones. She had one in Lake Charles on telehealth, and then when she moved to her parents' house, she got
exactly.
another one.
I
And
would
it's
like to know
like
the names because I can deep dive them.
Yeah, the kind of therapy that she's receiving sounds like putting a Band-Aid, a plastic. We call them
No.
plastic.
I think the therapist's name is Principal Richard Belding.
There you go.
Say Bud Bell.
Is that true or is that like, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely.
Is it true?
Well, it depends if it's
therapy
the
is
college
just
years or the.
Yeah, is that right?
Oh,
No. No.
Yeah.
It's morbid being morbid.
It's like putting a Band-Aid
She's
over like an
only
accident. Do you know what I mean? It's not intense like cycles.
No, she
right,
needs
Apple,
a
that's right. She
true,
needs inpatient.
100% true evaluation. And a
Yeah.
real therapist will be able to read through the fake voice, the
Right.
and they are trained to, well, we are too, because we have to read people, but not as deep as a therapist.
Yeah,
And
she
read
needs
the body
psychoanalysis.
mannerisms, the speech, when it goes really high, when it goes really low. She needs to be in a real, it's called trauma therapy. It's
Yeah,
honestly, it's what it is
I
called.
did it.
Like an
She
Yeah,
needs
I
to go to
did it.
Vienna or
outpatient.
someplace and have a whole team working just
She's
on
talking
her.
Intensive
Exactly.
outpatient.
therapy.
Yes.
Well,
And it needs to be,
I
she
did that
needs to be
program.
in trauma therapy. I mean, men and women
go to
that have
jail
gone
for
through
you're
trauma.
traumatic.
Or
It's
intensive
not the
outpatient.
PTSD kind of therapy. Okay.
No, so I
It's
did that.
extensive. I
Yeah,
mean,
No,
it's
she needs
Yeah,
trauma to like
inpatient.
fix her whole person.
yes.
It's
Yes.
inpatient, and you have
It's
therapy.
That's what makes Gypsy so dangerous is because now we're teaching her psychology and she's going to be using psychology on the kids. I don't mean her child. I mean the kids that are following her. Oh,
Patient. It's not outpatient. It is
Yeah, I did
inpatient.
that,
Oh,
and it
you
helped a lot.
have?
Yeah, I did it.
Who is saying yes? Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie, I did it. I did the intensive. It was I did inpatient, and you have courses throughout the day, different
Yep.
classes, and then you
Yeah.
with your therapist. Then they have like red light therapy. I mean, it's
Yep.
literally just therapy all day, and you live there, and it's like 6 weeks, or you can stay longer. But she needs that.
Yes. So you understand what I'm saying. She needs the in-depth therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm
if it would
sorry
help
you
them.
went through that. I'm sorry you went
So-
through that, Charlie, but it sounds like you're an amazing lady now.
Oh, thanks. I tried, but I'm not.
Well, it's a continual, okay?
Hey, don't make me bring back Natasha Cooper.
No.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Well,
No, but I'm proud of Charlie because she knows the avenue I'm saying that Gypsy needs to go through.
That's a test.
And that's a hard road
I
you have to deal with.
I do want to
Okay.
talk
I said I
about
wouldn't be on
Nicholas
here long.
for a moment, if I could. And
Yeah,
this
go.
deals with Bree's live that I did with her the other night. What she was talking about was abuse of Gypsy Rose. And she kept mentioning that as if it was a defense to why Gypsy unalived her mother. And Bree was explaining the severity of the crime or the act, I guess, from Nicholas, that it shouldn't have been as disgusting as it was or horrific, which is
let me see if I think they're going on to talk about Nick now. Let's go past there and see if they're going to talk about the house anymore.
Sir, But okay, so the only way I can think of it, what you're describing, Apple, and what maybe Nick did, like you know, like some of us women or whatever, or even men, when you're like sexually assaulted, you kind of like you exit your body and you're like,
Yep.
you see it, you know what I mean? Like, I've experienced that where like I
I've
it's like
been gang raped, sweetheart.
yeah
I've been
yeah
gang raped, so
you know
I
so you
know.
see like you exit
Multiple
your
people on
body.
top of me.
Okay. So they're not talking about the house anymore, so we're just going to move on. I did notice that I missed this one little piece that I wanted to share. And then I think that's all I have. Oops. This was actually, I'm gonna just skip it. I missed it and it's fine. It was just a woman going by the house. And she actually went by when nobody lived there and tried to open the door. I just thought that was interesting. Okay, guys, I think that is all I have for tonight. Let me see what you guys are saying over in chat. She tells her therapist specific things so she can hear what she wants to hear so she can go back and use it as an excuse. Probably. Sad thing is she has the training. Yeah. Dee Dee trained her well, I'm sure. Hi, everyone. Hi, Donna. My sister and I all went into therapy years ago. We have one sister who used what we were learning to manipulate the rest of us. That sucks. But, you know, people do it. It's, I mean, I may be strange saying this, but celebrities have forgotten that she had a hand in, I don't know what that word is. Is it celebrities have forgotten that she had a hand in killing her own mother? I don't get why everyone pumps her up and treats her like a normal person. Yeah, I don't get it either. And I thought like, well, maybe nobody out there is doing it, but then I saw that channel with 1 million and more, over 1 million subscribers, you know, pumping her up. I don't know. Well, what she does is she tells her therapist specific things to get a specific answer diagnosis so she can say, see, I'm perfect. Yes, be sure to tickle that bell for notifications after you subscribe. Certain personality disorders don't respond well to therapy. Yeah, hot mess in the city. Perfect. That was the terminology I was looking for, but I'm getting tired. I'm starting to fade. I can feel myself fading. So I'm gonna call it a night. I've been super nervous and my anxiety's been really bad today. And so if I got a little itchy or nervy tonight, I'm sorry. I try to remain calm and I'm not hating on anybody. It's just not what I want to do on my live. But if you think it's funny, then you think it's funny. And I don't want to take anybody's joy from anybody. I'm not a joy stealer. Okay, guys. You can tell I'm hung up on that because I keep talking about it. I got to stop talking about it and caring. I'm just trying to work through things, trying to figure out like where my voice is. I've always been so afraid of saying anything to ruffle feathers. But the funny thing is like if there's a situation where it's a split second where I've got to act, I just do it. Like I just jump into like, no, don't say that, or you know, whatever. It's just my instinct. So, but when I'm trying to, I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to find my voice and where I want to stand on things. And I hope you guys will allow me to do that just as I allow you to grow and develop. And we're still a new channel I mean, I've been at it for about 2 years, but I would say, well, Christmas time last year, I was still talking to an empty chat. Like there was nobody watching me, and I just would do a hour-long show. That's kind of why I kind of like plow through things, because I'm used to like not having an audience, and having an audience is new to me, and I'm trying to figure it all out. So, and I really appreciate you guys for being here. You guys mean so much to me. My channel means a lot to me, and you guys mean even more to me. You certainly turned my life around. And if nobody's told you this, I'm going to tell you this. And even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Hi guys, welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine.